How are you on today? It is Friday, May 15th, 2026. The goat is good. Yes, the goat is good. I set my remind me to the goat. I got like a notification saying that the goat was going to be available before the goat was available yesterday. That's when I watched it. Uh, so yeah, I watched it. It's excellent. I didn't know everybody that was in the goat was gonna be in the goat. Um, one of the voices is Jennifer Hudson. Another voice is Jennifer Lewis. Uh, those were oh yeah, and Gabrielle Union. Um, yeah, I liked it. I was trying to think if I knew anybody else's voice. Um, I think the baboon, I think he was a baboon, Lord have mercy. He was the coach. I think that's the dude that plays Ratatouille. Um, it's a cool movie. I like how it's animated. Uh I don't know what style that is, but it seems like a style that was shown in or yeah, shown and presented in uh the movie Last Wish, Puss in Boots Last Wish. Yeah, that movie. I seen a similar style in The Last Wish, Puss in Boots. It seems like it. It was similar. So yeah, I like the style of the movie. I like the different approach to the goat's updated background. Like if anybody met him, he didn't the story didn't go how stories do go with sharing his background and what happened. Like when they show his picture. Um and even before that, how his story unfolds, this movie, The Goat, it took like a different approach to updating everyone on his status. Like it took a while to unfold. They didn't just like any other movie would have just came out and said the update, but this movie took its time um allowing it to breathe and unfold. So I did like that. Um, hey, baby cat. So if you hadn't seen it, I do recommend watching it today or this weekend. Uh, I think it's one for the collections. I do. All the voice actors and actresses. it makes it a collectible, I think. Uh, like one, yeah, the one that you need in your archives in your archives. I think this is good. Like this is a good re-watch, something to watch again and again. I think so. I kind of was getting that vibe when I was watching it. Like, ooh, this might be one to, you know, have on hand and, you know, watch it again and again, something you could say you have in your collection. I think it's a great collectible like that. Um, yeah, so I did watch that. Um, Paw Patrol, the movie is available, and I hadn't even watched that yet, and that was on my list, my movie list to watch that. And I think I have started it, but I didn't get into it for whatever reason. But I do see it, it's available as well, and I may finish or rewatch it. I can't even say I rewatched it because I didn't even watch it. It's like I had turned it on and didn't watch it, but it was on. So I might watch it this weekend. But yeah, I was reminded. I was like, yeah, that movie was on my movie list when it was, you know, to be out. But yeah, I hopped on that goat, boy. That goat, it was just released yesterday. I watched that. Like I had my notifications on, and it was like, yeah, remember your reminders? The goat is available. So I clicked on that. I was like, yeah, I kind of like I scheduled it actually. I didn't actually I wasn't able to watch it as soon as it came out because I had other prior things, but I was making sure I was checking off my to-do list to get to that to get to that goat movie. I was like, okay, I know I gotta do this, I gotta do this. So I did that boot check, check, check. I was like, okay, can I watch the goat movie now? Oh no, I gotta do this. Okay, okay, do that. Okay, now I can watch the goat movie. And then uh I didn't even watch it all the way through. I actually had to like pause it like halfway through and then go to sleep because I was sleepy. I was trying, boy. I was trying my best, Lord. But I had like rewound it like 3 times and I was going to sleep. It was because I had done all the other stuff to get to the movie. So I had took myself out. So I just wound up pausing it and um going to sleep and then waking back up and watching it uh when I woke up, finished watching it. So that's how I know it's a good movie because I went on ahead and paused it. I didn't allow that movie to watch me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this movie. So yeah, I had paused it and went to sleep. But it's cool. It's a beautiful. I don't know how it's done, but I like it. I like it. It's almost like drawn. I don't know exactly if it was drawn. It could have been computer animated, but it looks different from the other computer animated stuff. It looks a bit complex, if you will. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a hybrid, like drawn and computer animated. I don't know. I don't know. Um, but it had character, like the look of it. Um, and the colors were cool to see the different uh variations of the pops of color and then the uh within the earth tones, there were pops of colors, and then to see that these are animals talking like they humans, and then to see like they got cell phones and cars and stuff, I'm just like, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, like what can y'all not do? Like I'm just looking like, okay, they got phones, they got diners. What do y'all do? Yeah, and they got on clothes. Oh my goodness. And they got on pants. Because like previous movies, animals didn't have on pants. They might have on a shirt, but they might not have on pants. These ones had penthouses. I'm like, okay, like look at y'all. So it was a lot of it seemed well in my movie experience, it was a bunch of new concepts to me. I hadn't seen anything like this before. I mean, as far as like, it seemed like a bunch of new concepts being presented. It looked like that to me. Like, okay, all this is new to me, just animals FaceTime. I think I've seen that in movies before, but they on live stream and I'm like, oh my goodness, wow. So yeah. That's the goat. It's good. I like the story. I like the story. Um, Dream big. He kept a hold of that to dream big, and he kept his goal. And even though, um, it seemed like he wasn't welcome, he held on to that dream big. He held on to it. So that was good to see that he held on to it. He didn't set it to the side and need to be coerced into continuing the uh dream big like in other movies. A character would, have a goal, and then they would things wouldn't look like it was going their way, so they would toss it to the side and then have to be cheered back on to their golden path. No, 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 shawty, we through with that. Like this movie, he held on to his goal. He knew without knowing. But no, but yeah, he held on, and that was cool to see that he did that the whole time, no matter what. So yeah, I recommend to go. We could talk about something else now before I go into spoilers, because I didn't write spoilers in the title, so I'm trying not to go into spoilers. I'm like, okay, nah, I ain't gonna spoil it. I ain't gonna spoil it. I ain't just recommend it. That's all. Just I'ma just okay. So that's it for that. Um, how to do? Thank you for joining the chat. Thumbs up. Boom. And subscribe if you hadn't already. New shorts available. Plenty in the description box to describe what be going on. Uh, videos for I made videos for the shorts that aren't clear because of the formatting that transpired when I upload some of the videos. Um, so into shorts, so yeah, you can see them clearer on in the video section in the video tab. Um, freebies, um, patterns, the how to's, and so forth, and vis-a-vis, movie reviews, book reviews, and short stories, all available. Did I say books? Yeah, books available. How to's, teachings, and so forth. Even the bind off. Let me tell you. I had mentioned that somebody asked me how to bind off of their round loom, um their knitting loom. So I um acquiesced their request and made it available, letting you know how to bind off as best I knew how. Okay, you gotta bring it how you you gotta bring it from up here, from out your brain and onto the page, and I did that as best I knew how. So check it out, see if that suffices you and to helping you bind off your projects. I included all of the methods that I've utilized in binding off the projects that I cast off, bind off. Yeah, because I utilized several methods, um, and I did what I could to make that information available to you. Since you asked me personally, ever so kindly, to uh, teach you my ways. So yeah, that's available as well as crochet memorabilia. Because a lot of you asked me to teach you how to crochet. So I made that available, and like I said, I made the how to cast off the loom knit. I made that available because actually that was my first request, and that was the hardest. Why was my first request the hardest? I felt like it was the hardest, but um, it's just I don't know. Yeah, anyways, it's done now. It's done now. I figured it out. Like I said, you gotta get it from out your brain and it onto the page. Um, um, loom, knitting. I have knitting tutorials and all of that available as well. uh, yeah. Um, I acquiesced every request. um, I made it available, so there you go. Enjoy, have fun with your yarn projects. Projects. um, so to those of us that have been crocheting for hours on end, um, I heard that popping, wrist popping, and hand cramping and stuff. That's what come from crocheting for hours and hours and hours. How the song go? And hours and hours. I'm not on the rhythm of that song, but yeah. Yeah, there we go. I could do this for hours. Okay. So apparently we supposed to take breaks to prevent that from happening. Um at least like every 30 minutes to 40 minutes, we're supposed to be taking breaks. And even before we begin crocheting, we're supposed to be stretching our fingers, our hands, our wrists, stretching them, doing hand exercises, and sitting up straight. And yeah, that's what I had started to do last year because I was told about posture and how that affects um blood flow circulation and tendons and arteries and blood flow through the arteries and all of that. So I had started to do that last year when I had that pillow boppy on my lap while I was crocheting so that I could sit up and I could have somewhere to put my elbows. Um so apparently that is important because I did stop using that pillow and started like back scrunching over with my elbows on my thighs and just really not crocheting in the comfortable position really. um so I need to really get back to that. Like I did see some crochet pillows, kind of like the gamer pillows. But for crocheters, the crochet pillow is actually bigger than the gamer pillow. Um, and it has pockets for the various things that crocheters use for crocheting. Like you could put your um stitch markers in there, your glasses, your crochet hook, um, stuff like that. And it's bigger so that you can sit up and have your elbows um supported so that you can crochet sitting up comfortably to allow accurate blood flow and not be cutting off any flow and stuff like that. So apparently it's a thing. Some of us are talking about it because we are like noticing the difference. Uh because we crochet in all the kinds of ways. We crocheting with the pillow. We crocheting without the pillow. So we got the experience to say yeah that works, no that don't work, and so forth and so on. So I think I might have shared that post. I might not have. I don't know. But yeah, there are posts and about it. A couple of people talking about it. Uh, suggestions and things on what to do to prevent it and to work with it. And really, you gotta stop and allow your hands to um, rest if you need rest. Like me, I hadn't been able to finish seaming up the sides of my sweater um, for the past couple of days because my hands were just that protesty. Like they just been like, ugh, they just they just like, look, you crochet so much already, so chill out. So I was like, "For real, hands?" And they were like, "Yes, girl, you put in that work, girl." So I was just like, "Okay." So I've been um implicating the hand stretches and methods to help ease any of this um things that's going on with my hands and wrists. Um, I saw a cute, I guess it's called a cardigan. That's what it looked like. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's so cute. It's a, I guess it's called a cardigan. It looked like a cardigan. It's cute. It's a sweater, and it's made with two squares. Come, come. I want to say combined, but not. But then I don't want to say combined, but because it's not that simple. But I mean, essentially, you are gonna connect the two squares. So you make two squares that covers your shoulder, your your shoulder area, and I guess they connect. Like I've only seen posts of it. I hadn't. Well, I've seen like a post brief tutorial through posts. And you make these two squares, one for each shoulder, and I guess they connect under the arm. Yeah, they connect some under the arm, like, and then you situate you go crochet around the square, and then you situate them, and then you connect. You keep going and crochet in on the next square, and then back and forth, and then that new part becomes like the body of um the cardigan or sweater, and you can make it as long or as short as you want. And then you continue with the sleeves and make the sleeves as long or as short as you want. You can make a cuff with the sleeves after you get to that area part of the sleeve to make a cuff. And it's cute. I think I'm going to I know I think I'm gonna make it because I was looking at it and it seems so cute. Like, cause I have this yarn that I wanted to make like a crop sweater with or something like that. I was trying to think what I wanted to make this sweater with. I wanted to make it like some type of top, but I wanted it to be a smaller top. Because I got about 6 skeins. I think I got about 6 skeins of that the yarn. Um, I think this is gonna be the pattern because the pattern that I use for my cardigans, I didn't necessarily want to use that the for this type of yarn. Because the pattern that I use for my other cardigans, it it creates a collar, and I didn't necessarily want a collar for the cardigan that I want to make with this other yarn. I wanted to be more like I wanted this sweater to kind of look cashmere-ish. Cashmere. So, um, yeah, this new pattern that I've seen, it looks like it'll be a cool pattern to create. this sweater with utilizing this yarn that I have for it. Um so yeah, I'm gonna do that. The only thing I'm like raising my eyebrow about is like how to connect the two squares and keep going. It looks simple well, I kind of don't want to say that, but I mean the woman, she's saying how to do it, and it's kind of like one of those things where you gotta be at the, what do you call it, the intersection. You gotta be at the intersection to know the next move to make in the pattern. But I think I'm getting it. I mean, I watched it several times and I'm like, I can get this. I can grasp this. So I might look for a longer tutorial to actually show the actual steps. Cause she does have a longer tutorial. It's just that like she's pointing at what she's doing instead of showing. Like she's already done it and she's pointing it out. Like, this is what I did, and you do this, go around here like this, like that. And I'm trying to follow her. I'm like, I'm hearing you and I'm looking at what you're saying. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. So yeah, so she was like, make your squares first. So I'm gonna make my squares and then see what she said the next step. So like the next step is like the next step, like what to do next. And yeah, and then you just seam up the bag. I'm like, and then you just seam up the bag. But I'm laughing, y'all, because my crochet pattern, my I've gotten better at it. That's why I'm laughing, because I noticed my the clarity that I'm having with patterns and tutorials. And it's so cool to me that now I understand a lot more about crochet than I did when I first started. So that's why I'm laughing. I'm like, and then like hearing myself talking about how it looks easy, but when I first started out, I didn't. I didn't think that when or I actually kind of did, but in a different way. I don't know. It wasn't clear, and it's clear now. It's clear now. So I kept with it, y'all. I kept at it. I kept with it, and I kept learning it. Kept studying it. I've actually studied crochet, y'all. But some people don't have to study crochet to learn how to crochet. They just be getting it, boy. I just be like, okay, good. I'm glad to see it's like different methods that people approach what they want to do. So if you like me and you like uh um want to go at it like the method I have, I've made what I've learned available um, for you, and you can get that and collect it, and begin crocheting like that. And honestly, you I feel like you're gonna be ahead of the game. Actually, like you're gonna be you gonna be ahead of me. Like it took me years to figure out what I'm teaching y'all. Like, and y'all, you know, when you collect these items and get at it, you gonna be ahead of me. And kudos for that. Like I just learned how to read uh crochet patterns last summer. Last summer. Picture it. May 5th, 2025 was my first crochet along that I attended and signed up for. The hostess was Julia Maddow. She hosted a crochet along cardigan, patchwork cardigan, and she made available the pattern, and the pattern had words on it, abbreviations, and diagrams. And so yeah, I learned how to read patterns and compare them to diagrams, and I learned how to read diagrams. And all thanks to uh TL Yarn. She suggested we learn patterns as well because she says that opens us up to more cro- crocheting more uh things instead of limiting us to only following tutorials. And she is correct. Um because there was a lot of things I wanted to crochet that didn't have tutorials, that only had patterns. So, and I wouldn't make them because I didn't know how to read patterns. But now that I know how to read patterns, what? Yeah, what? I and I got that from yarn yarn arts, fabric arts. She taught me how to knit. Um, she so yeah, I've made things where I could follow the patterns. Um, so yeah, I really did enjoy that last year. Learning how to read patterns and diagrams, and I and I figure since I talk about it so much, I make that available. I was like, I talk about crochet so much. How much do you talk about crochet? I talk about crochet so much that I chose to make what I talk about available. So yeah, it's ready and available. You got this. Um, anything else? That's really all there is. The rest would be, just hyping, hype cheering you on, hype, hype talk, cheering you on to. Oh yeah, what I wanted to say, because while I was putting this stuff together, um, and I do suggest what I suggested because that is the general suggestion that everybody suggests. I didn't start my journey that way. I have my own beginner starter journey. What do you call it? Origin story. um, my two people that I was showing me how to crochet back when, they didn't I I didn't hold a 5 crochet hook, a 5 millimeter crochet hook, or even a 5.5. I think I started with a 6 or a 6.5. Um, what the reason was, one person, she might have been saying she was using her 5, or that's her 6 or her 5 point, I mean her 6 or her 6.5 was available. So that's why she let me utilize, I think it was a 6 or a 6.5. I don't know exactly for clarity, but it could have been a 6.5. But she was like, this one was available. Like she was utilizing another hook, and maybe she didn't have the other hook available. And then the other person, she came out her mouth and was like, use a 6 or a 6.5. Either one of those will do. So I think at that time I was using a 6.5 or a 6. And so those are what both of them presented to me. And then, so yeah, that's when I was crocheting with them. Now then when I started crocheting on my own and started researching crochet on my own and studying crochet, everybody was saying a 5. And I looked at that 5 and I was intimidated actually of that 5. And I would look at it and I'd be like, and I was like, I felt like that 5 was little. I mean, it was little. Like I was like, you want me to do what? With that? What? Because I guess because the 6 and the 6.5 are a bit bigger, and that's what I was handed at first. I was used to bigger. So when I saw the 5, I was like, no. So, um, um, uh, um, so I did crochet a couple of things with like either a 6 or a 6.5, and then I jumped to a 9 and a 8 and a 9, and I crocheted several things with an 8 and a 9. I was like, hey, hey, hey. So I had met some people, and I was crocheting with chunky yarn, and all the people that I crocheted with, they didn't even know about chunky yarn. But when I go to the yarn aisle, chunky yarn be standing out. Like I be like, chunky yarn. And those velvet yarns, they be standing out. It be the I want to say novelty yarns that be standing out more so than regular yarns to me. So when I saw the chunky yarns, the not chunky, but the bulky yarns, the bulky yarn. Okay, so the bulky yarns I started crocheting with because I figured it would it was easier to utilize, like the bigger to hold the so I got the bulky yarn and I started crocheting with that, and I crocheted like a baby blanket. I crocheted because that's like one of the first things people be making, baby blankets. And then I crocheted a pink, like a um a throw blanket type situation, like for Valentine's Day. Um, that was in a bulky. Um, it seemed like a lot at the time, but yeah, those were the only two things. And I crocheted some slippers with some bulky yarn, and I crocheted a blanket type situation, like a back of the couch type blanket. Like it was like a nautical, nautical, like like a ropey type situation. Like it ain't gonna keep you warm, like unless you line it, like pair it up with something. But just to put it on, it's so spacey, like because I made that one with a 9. It's not gonna keep you warm. It's for looks, okay. So yeah, I made that. But I'm just to say, I started trailblazing with a bulky yarn and a bigger hook. Um, so if you want to start with a bulky yarn and a bigger hook, go right ahead. And there are uh loops and threads type crochet, type yarns that you can actually create things with your fingers. You can finger knit. I don't know if you can finger crochet. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So you don't necessarily have to have a hook. You can finger crochet, you can finger knit. Um, Loops and Threads has some yarns that got loops on them that you can loop. You don't even need a hook. Um, let's say I don't need a hook on this beat. What? I don't know. Well, yeah, but it's a song like that. But um, there's several ways you can approach uh yarn crafts. Um, and then I uh ever so gingerly made my way to the 5. Like I have really had a journey. Like that 5 hook. Ugh, I really was intimidated by it, guys. But I did work my way to it. Like I mean literally like from the 9 to the 8 to the 7. I made some things with a 7 hook, size 7, 6.5, 6, and then the 5. And the 5 is so special because it's gold. I mean, well, that's in my head, I was thinking that, okay? I was thinking it's so special because it's gold. I mean, and it's like, oh, I mean, literally, I was doing this, okay? When I picked up the 5 hook, I would hold it in my hand and lift it up and go, oh. And I crocheted a few things with it, and I just would hold it up and say, I have the power. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's what I used to do with the 5 gold hook. I think that was a boy hook that's gold. But I used to treat that thing like it was like the holy grail. Oh my goodness. Like it was something encased, like it was in its own casing. And I would just look at it, and then And then when I finally got the nerve to work with it, um, I, so to speak, took it out of its case because it's just got the glowing lights coming off of it. That's how I felt about it, y'all. Like, for real. And I made you can see it on my one of these platforms I got. Actually, it's a few platforms I got it on. I made some doll dresses with it. Where I did follow a tutorial for one dress, and then for the other dress, I kind of took what I learned from the first dress and then made my own dress. Hey, so people want actually a pattern for that from me, and I do actually have a rough draft of that pattern available via posts. So if you look at my post of that doll dress, in the either in the description or the comment section, I put the pattern. I put what I did to make that dress. Um, so yeah, that's uh a bit of the background of the origin story of how I worked my way to crocheting with a 5. And last year I made a lot of things with um the 5.5, and I did get a special hook. I got the 5.5 Urs I want to say Ursula Lloyd. Corella DeVille um crochet hook. Corella DeVille crochet hook in a 5.5. And I've made several things with a 5.5. Um and a 5. Like, I'm not intimidated anymore. I can pick it up and make things with it now. No problem. So whatever your hookup is, you keep at it, and you can, should that be, something you want to do, accomplish and achieve, like, I kept at it. I kept at it till I worked up the nerve to create something with it. And I did, and I have. I did, and I have. Like, and it don't stop. So yeah, because some of these yarns be a little thinner than others, as far as the weight goes, and it's a lot of people. They get they get the yarns that they like or they know about, and they stick with that, and they don't know nothing else. And I was like, what? I mean, you ain't gonna explore. You're not gonna explore these other yarns. And I'm like, I'm gonna explore these other yarns. Like, so I done created things with bulky yarn, chunky yarn, uh, of course, the worsted weight, the 4 yarn. Um, and I say, of course, because that's the general thing everybody suggests. Um, I did, like I said, I did start off with that, but I when I go to the yarn section, it be the chunky yarns that be calling me. Like I be like, hey, and then so they be like, take me home, and I be like, okay, come on. So like the first thing I made was with a bulky yarn. Like the first project I completed was with bulky yarn. Um, the first thing I attempted, because I didn't complete it, the first thing I attempted was with worsted weight yarn, and I was like, I ain't feeling this, and I took it out. I didn't even complete it. Like I did like 10 rows, and I just the woman that was teaching me, she said I was doing an excellent job, but I wasn't feeling it, so I took it out, and that was with worsted weight. But with bulky weight, I was like, hey, this feels great, like. But I I I worked my way to um feeling the worsted weight. At first, like at first it was the the bulky weight for me, the bulky yarn for me. So it might be, you might be feeling that way as well, um when it comes to yarn, and you might be around other crocheters that be like, I ain't never crocheted with that before. And I'm like, girl, you ain't never crocheted with that before? I ain't never seen that in before. And I'm like, what? It be the first thing I see when I be going down the aisle. It should be calling me. So yeah, it work up just like bulky weight works up just like worsted weight. It just a little it's basically like, what is I want to say it's like at at the big yarn, the big crochet hooks, the what do you call those things, Lord? And okay, let me calm down, let me slow down. Cause I done got excited talking about this crocheting. Hold on. Okay, so that's why I went on ahead and made had a crochet available, because I just be I like talking about it. Or yeah, so whatever. I it is something like, I started off knitting actually. I actually started off knitting, and then I was reading, and it's funny, I was reading knitting patterns, but then when it came to crochet, I had to learn how to read crochet patterns. I don't know if that's a mindset type thing. I didn't even think about it till I'm talking about it. But yeah, I was reading a knitting pattern, and the knitting pattern told me I had to learn some crochet. And I was like, ugh, I want to knit. Excuse you for telling me I need to learn how to crochet. And the knitting pattern was like, I mean, you can learn these, basic stitches so that you can add on to your knitting. And I was like, for real knitting? For real? And it was like, yeah, learn the basic, basic stitches and then come back to the pattern, boop, boop, boop. um, and I was like, if I go and learn these basic crow stitch, okay, crow stitch patterns. I think I was trying to combine knitting and crochet. Crow stitch. Mm-hmm. Is that a new word? Crochet stitches, crow stitch. I don't know if I'm gonna make it back to knitting because everybody was saying that crochet is faster than knitting. And knitting is so confident. Knitting is like, you go ahead, go over there, go on over there and learn it. Go on. It's all right. I'll be here. And I'm like, but I want to knit. And it was like, but I'm telling you, you're gonna need these, the basics of the crochet stitch. So go on. It's okay. I'll be right here. It's all right. It's all good. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go learn crochet. Like go learn crochet, girl. Go learn. So yeah. Learned crochet and um yeah, you can actually combine the two. That's what knitting was saying. Knitting was saying you can combine some of the basic stitches to your knitting. One of the patterns I was following was like a knit, and then it was like a crochet ruffle edging. Cause I was looking at the picture, I was like, how they do that there? How they do that? And then I was reading the pattern, and it was like, yeah, crochet the edge on, and I was like, what? What you talking about? And yeah, so you can add that, have a combination of that going on. Um, so it's really your choosing. You get to choose. It's like a candy store for me. You go down that aisle and look and see what you want to choose, what you want to work with, and go from there. Um, see, see how to crochet with it. Oh snap! I did it again. Oops, I did it. Oh, okay. Oh baby, baby. Okay, so is there anything else? Crocheting, I guess it's faster. I guess. Than knitting. Knitting, you can do a lot with knitting as well. You can make but knitting has different patterns to it. Knitting has you can make ruffles with knitting. I got a knitting Bible, Lord. Okay. I got a knitting Bible. I'm trying to think if it's called stitches. Stitching? Stitches? I don't know. I got it tucked away. I had to have it. Like I saw it And it actually came like with a kit to make like these little purses with funfair yarn, which I didn't make yet. But I had to have that kit. It was a whole kit. It might have not had everything in it, I don't think. I don't know, but it had knitting needles in it, and I did make something with those knitting needles. It had like bamboo knitting needles. It came with a book, and it came with some felt, and it came with some funfair yarn. Funfair yarn, I think that's what that's called. It's like the fuzzy thin strand yarn, and it came with a book that had all these different patterns in it. And I saw it and I walked away from it. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. I held it in my hand, Lord. And I set it down, walked away from it. And I was like, I gotta go back and go get it. And I went back to go get it, Lord, and it was not easy to find. Like the first time I saw it, it was like right there. It was like, oh, but I didn't get it. But the next time I went and it was not easy. It wasn't sitting in the same spot, but I kept looking for it, kept looking for it. I kept looking for it, Lord, and I found it. I was like, you coming home with me. And I got it, brought it home, looked at the book, took the knitting needles out. I think they were a 9 knitting needle, I think. And I made things with that pair of knitting needles. Um, other than the other than the kit, like I just took them and I just like they were just like I was it and it was me and we just were meant to be. And I made things with it and got other books and made things from the other book with it. And so yeah, just get what you would like, what calls out to you, even though you might not know somebody that works with it. It works up the same way. It might look different, it might be a different size, but it does work up the same. Um, so that's with working with hooks. If working with a bigger hook feels better to you with the bigger yarn, so that you can grasp the concept of where the stitches go and you feel better like with that, go for it. That's what I was doing. That's exactly what I was doing. Um, and it gave me things that I made. And then, even then, when I did approach the smaller weight yarn, like the 4 worsted weight yarn with the smaller hook, whether it's a 6.5 or a 6 or 5.5 or 5 with the worsted weight 4 yarn, I had to learn where to put the stitches. Um, Even though I was figuring it out with the bulky yarn and the bigger hook, um, it's the same, but it's a little different for me because I was like, where do you put the stitches? What I mean, because it if you put it in an inaccurate place of the top of the next stitch, it increases your stitches. So you got to figure out where to put your stitch in what stitch so that you can keep the same number of stitches if that's what your pattern is supposed to do. Um, and a good person that shows where your stitches go is DOY Creations. She actually has her camera facing the yarn, and she actually like shows you where to actually put your crochet hook. Some people, I've seen people recently say it don't matter, and I'm like, the hell you say? But okay. um but yeah, DIY Creation, she actually shows where to put your uh crochet hook on the top of the stitch. There are patterns that calls for the crochet stitch to be worked in the space that's provided, and then there's patterns that calls for working it on top of the previous stitch. And then there's patterns that calls that it's up to you. So yeah, so it's good to know all of that and take all of that into consideration and go from there. uh so yeah, there's variations to the patterns. I did share it with you all last summer. Was it last summer? I had approached a tutorial that I was a I had on my list to do, but I was intimidated to do it just a little bit, because it was with a stitch that I didn't utilize a lot, but I knew I needed this thing in my life, Lord. I had it on my list, and I like creating things from my list, Lord. Uh, so I did approach it. I learned it. Um, the tutorial is clear and it teaches you how to make the stitch. That stitch is the triple crochet, and that pattern is from the pattern I followed is from Little John's Yarn, and she shows how to make the stitch, and she shows her tutorial, and it's a panel type situation where you make the panels, and then you sew them together. So it's a combination of things, and I was like, because I hadn't done too much of that, but I actually did. But yeah, the stitch, yeah, it's really all in your mind, guys. But yeah, I learned the stitch, and she was like, yeah, when you finish this pattern, you're gonna become familiar with this stitch, because that's really all the pattern is that stitch. And it's like any other stitch, we learn it and make something with it. So I really like hype myself up to work with that stitch, and I did make the project that was on my list. What? All I have to do now is sew the buttons on. I made some buttons for it. Uh, I made some crochet buttons, utilizing Hector Nuga One's tutorial on how to make well uh crochet buttons. She has several. She has several crochet tutorials on how to make crochet buttons, and it's one in particular that I liked. Um, where she makes the crochet button stiff by adding a button to it type situation. I used that tutorial and made the button a couple of different ways. Um, so yeah, I'm figuring I need to wash it first and then put the buttons on. But yeah, whatever. I got to I yeah. So that's what that's looking like. And I think I'm working with something that got, yeah, this pattern, this star sweater that I'm working on, it has triple crochet in it. And I actually had to look at the tutorial and see how to, like, how they do that again. Like, I looked at it to see how to do it, because I just, that's not a stitch I'm familiar with. But okay, so if it's a stitch you're not familiar with, just look at how to make it again. That's all. Just look at how to make it again, and go from there. That's what I do. I look at how to make it again, look at how to make it again, and go from there. Boop, 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 boop. And if I mess up, I unravel it and do it again. That's all. Yeah. So Stitch guide is available as well. I've made available a stitch guide for all these stitches that I'm talking about, uh, so that you can learn these stitches as well. And when you learn what the stitch looks like, you can learn uh, to read diagrams and refer to the keys, because the key should tell you uh what those symbols represent. Um, and you can make something with a diagram if you know what the key symbols represent. I like seeing the key symbol. Like, boy, I mean, it looks so beautiful. I'm like, yes, a diagram with the key symbol. Now, if you give me a diagram without key symbols, you can, you know what to do with that diagram. Don't give it to me. Don't you dare. I'm like, what it is? What? I'm like Smokey and his mama. This ain't enough. Uh-uh. Give me the key symbols. I need the key symbols. Uh, but yeah. um, I mistakes. Okay, so as far as mistakes go, I have seen a couple of people say this is how you fix mistakes. Like if you make a mistake on one row and you find that out, and you on a whole nother row, and they show how to make how to rectify that mistake without taking their workout. I've seen people do those type things. And I may have even utilized it a time or two. But for the most part, I take my stuff back out and redo it. Like, but it is people that either I do that or I let it ride. I have let it ride a couple of times where if I've done made a mistake, and like I say, I'll either utilize how to, like, I'll like work over it somehow, like I'll make it do what it do, like. uh, but yeah, it's some people, they know how to rectify mistakes without taking their workout, like without frogging they stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe, I'm looking at you. Okay. You got it going on. All right. So I don't know if y'all want that from me. Like if y'all want me to teach y'all that, I'ma see, because I might want to teach myself that. If I do, then I will make that available to you. Otherwise, in the meantime, in between time, you can learn it from somebody else, because I've been seeing it from other people as well. And I have applied some things that I have learned. Like I said, like to keep it going, when I'm crocheting. Um, so yeah, I could look at that as well and see about making that available to us. Cause it's almost like I'm learning to teach y'all, like like y'all saying teach me, and it's like, hey, I'm learning too, like I'm learning too, like, okay, but it's but okay, y'all. I guess, it's like but yeah, I can see where I can do that. I can see where I can do that. So I'll do that, but you got everything. You got everything I had when I first started. I mean, you got even more. You got even more than I had before I started, because I know more now. But when I started, I know more now than when I started. So by me teaching you, you know more than I did when I started. You get it? You get it? uh, mm, that's all right with me. But I just noticed that when I was putting all this stuff together for y'all, I'm like, wow, I ain't know this till last year. I didn't know this. I didn't learn this till last summer, y'all. And now I'm teaching it. Like, okay, but whatever. I mean, and I'm referring to pattern pattern reading patterns. I'm referring to reading patterns. Um and I'm actually I've actually te- I'm actually teaching you guys like intermediate pattern stuff because I've learned intermediate pattern stuff. um beginner pattern beginner pattern your beginner patterns are with words and they're written out, and I do talk about that in the how to crochet uh pattern that I've made available. uh and then there's abbreviations, and that's still considered beginner. And then there's no more talk. Ain't no more talk. When you get to intermediate patterns, ain't no more talk. Like it breaks down into abbreviations and asterisks and paragraph parentheses and breakers. I think that's what those symbols are called. And you got to know what to do when you get to them symbols because the pattern don't tell you. And like it's like it ain't no more talk, ain't no more words. Like you got to know what that symbol is. I mean, there are keynotes in the patterns that will tell you what those symbols are. And those are intermediate patterns. And I faced my first intermediate pattern last summer. Was it last summer? Last summer. Uh, thank you, Olaf. And I kind of completed it. I just I gotta rework the. For the most part, I completed it. I took it out because I wanted to rework. I took out some of it because I wanted to rework the straps to the camisole that I was crocheting. But yeah, I reread and reread, and I tried and tried and failed and failed. Intermediate pattern 101 last year. So yeah. You don't have to learn all of this. You do not. You can, stick to the basics and do as much as you can with the basics. I mean, that's what I've done. I just worked up to working at a to intermediate pattern last year. You can go at it like that, or you can jump into it. You can jump into intermediate patterns. It's all up to you. You don't have to do it in any particular order. That's the bottom line of what I'm saying. Okay, like that's the message I wouldn't mind you guys taking from me talking about all this is that there's several ways you can go at this. You can even come up with a different way from any of the stuff that I've mentioned. And go at it at a whole new way. If you want to hop on one foot and pat your head and rub your tummy and say rubber baby bubble butt while you crochet, you can do that too, you know. You ain't got to take my word for it, you know. How I go? Rubber baby bumper bunkers? What? Rubber baby bumper bunkers? Something. uh, yeah, the main goal is to enjoy, have fun, enjoy, and you can share with me, guys, your updates. You guys have shared, your beginnings with me and where you at now. Continue to share with me and your growth of what your development um with your crafts, whether you continue with crochet and knitting, or you've ventured off into other forms of creative expressions. Let me know. Let me know, girl. Let me guy, girl, man, woman, child, any one of you guys that has, especially you all that have told me to teach you, um, let me know. Um, your updates. I know it's a couple of you that you guys were saying y'all didn't have time for it. Y'all wanted to learn, but you ain't have time. You wanted to learn, but you ain't have time. Um, when I wanted to learn how to crochet, I had time. I don't know what you talking about. Why you ain't got time, but yeah, when I wanted to learn how to crochet, I had time. So you know, you on something else that I don't know about. So your approach would be different from mine because you say you ain't got time. When I wanted to learn, I had time. And I did have a friend that knew how to crochet, and she showed me uh what hooks to get, uh what to start with. And I didn't follow her to the T, but I got it done. Like, she showed me what she knew and I went running. Like, I wasn't doing it exactly. I kind of freeformed it. Like, she showed me what she was trying to show me, but I didn't grasp it fully, but I did it. And because she was checking my work and she was like, I don't know what you did. And I was like, see, I'm teaching you how to crochet. And she looked at me like, mm, mm. She like, I ain't learning what you teaching, girl. But I did it. I did something. I She taught me kind of sort of, and I grasped what I could. Like I said, it wasn't exact, but I got it done. And I was like, am I doing it right? She was like, she said, you doing something? And I was like, see, I done made up a whole new crochet stitch. And she looked at me like, mm. Okay, girl, like whatever, but I got it done somehow. And I made a whole finished project with uh between what she showed me how to do and what I grasped, and I created something from that. Now, when I wasn't in her presence, and I wanted to learn how to crochet, I went to the craft store because I actually like forgot how to start the crochet. Like I had forgot how to make a chain to start. And actually you don't have to make a chain. There's some things called um um foundation stitch. Foundation stitching. Now I hadn't went into those waters yet. Uh Foundation stitching. It's where you make the stitches without making the chain. And nostalgia, I think that's her name, Wolf, Nostalgia Wolf. She shows how to make foundation stitches. Um, I just hadn't got into it yet. But like when I was first learning how to crochet, I didn't know how to make the chain. I was like, I know how to crochet. Well, I ain't say that kind of sort of, but I was like, if I could just get it started. So I went to a craft store and asked one of the employees if they could help me start my foundation chain. And I was like, if you could just help me with this foundation chain, like show me how to start it. And then I got it from there. And they were like, yeah, sure. And they helped me start my foundation chain. And I was like, thank you. And uh, well, I was on again with crocheting and made some things. Um, so yeah, whenever you never have to remember all of this. You can always use your references to refer back to how to create these things. So that's a lot of what I was doing. Going to the craft store, asking somebody, "Can you show me how to start this?" That's referring back. Looking up tutorials, referring back to your stitch guide. You never have to remember a whole full pattern and do things from memory. You always, always, always can refer back to how to make a stitch. Okay. That's what the references are for. The reference, the reference guides. That's what they're for. Even Mikey from the Crochet Crowd, he says you never have to remember a pattern. You can always refer back to the pattern. There's no shame in that. That's what it's for. Okay. And it's some people that know how to crochet with just off the top of their head. Just off the top of their head. They don't have to do no referencing. They don't have to look at no pattern. They just be, and that's called free forming. And I guess that's a bit of what I was doing when I knew the basics. I began free forming. I had to know the basics first though, and then I kind of did a bit of free forming with my first completed project. Um, I um hope you guys are being encouraged to make a stitch today. Um, That's what I have for you all that say you don't have time. You can take these steps one step at a time. You can make a chain, uh, a foundation chain, and then set your work down. Set it down. You do not have to complete a project in one sitting. That's probably why you think you don't have time. Is probably because you thinking you gotta have a completed project at your first go at it. That's what it sounds like when you say you don't have time. You can create a foundation chain, set it down. You can make a stitch row the next time you get an opportunity to go at it, and then set it down. Um, I I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you about not having time, because, like I said, when I wanted to learn it, I had time. I mean, other than what I'm telling you, is like you could take it one step at a time. If you want to go at it one step at a time to see that you do have time to at least take one step at a time at crocheting. And then when you get it started, like I've said several times before, is you can make one stitch. If that's all you can do uh in a day, is make one stitch. I've done that. I sure have. I've made one stitch, and I patted myself on the back, because one stitch is more than zero stitches. So I patted myself on the back and said, "Yay! Hooray! I made one stitch today." Okay, you can go at it as small as that. Okay, and with that note, we're going to take a break, and I'll be back after these messages.
April skies are glowing soft and wide. A whisper in the stars, the full moon's tide. Petals fall like promises in bloom. Tonight we rise beneath the pink-lit moon. E.g., named for the wildflowers waking from the snow. Under the pink moon I realign, balance in my breath, peace in my mind. Libra's light is leading me through, truth in my heart and love in view. I shine, I bloom, I'm born anew under the pink moon. The air is calm but shifting deep within. I hear my soul where silence has been. Each step I take is guided, sure and true. This moon reflects the best of what I do. EGI, time to release, to plant, to renew. Under the pink moon I realign, balance in my breath, peace in my mind. Libra's light is leading me through, truth in my heart and love in view. I shine, I bloom, I'm born anew under
And that was a tune from my new releases of 2025, April of 2025. Hope you did enjoy. Now let's see here. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think is that you think you need to have, I don't know, maybe you think learning it would be l- l- more, take more time. Um I carve out you, I don't carve out you 30 minutes towards learning um crocheting, and you you'll get started, uh for sure you'll get started uh in learning it. And if you want, you can start out with something small, and in that 30 minutes you can start it, uh and then after that 30 minutes you can go back to what you were doing. So like, yeah, you can schedule learning how to crochet, and then come back at it at a later date and work on it for, I don't know your schedule. Work on it. Yeah, I mean, if you could do just one stitch, just do one stitch. If we, doing the least. Um, teachings are made available. Uh, so I felt inclined to acquiesce your request. Done. All right. There you have it. There's many tutorials. Maybe I'll make a list of people that have inspired me. I do mention them a lot though already. Like but you know, that just came up on my head. Like perhaps I can also make a list so you can see where I learned a lot of what I talk about. Um, because there are specific people that have been great influences to me in my crochet. Now, when I mention these people, they ain't the only ones, but they big inspirations to me. Very huge inspirations. And I've mentioned almost all of them in this live stream. So there you go. I mean, the list is in this live stream. For the most part. And then like other people have been like inspirational as far as project ideas. Um that veers off into something else. But like learning how to crochet, definitely uh DIY creations because she showed exactly where the stitch goes in her tutorials. And I have followed a few of her tutorials, several of her tutorials. Um, about a handful of her tutorials I followed. Probably more than that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, I made that, I made that, I made that. So I followed maybe more than 5 of her tutorials. um, yeah, I have more than 5. I don't know exactly because I think 5 and then I know 6 and then 7 and then so yeah, she's very influential to me to crochet clicking for me in my head. Like maybe that's what y'all need is to locate that click where it connects. And then you be like, oh, okay. And then, then you off to the races. Um with clarity. That's where I uh named from confusion to clarity in a lot of these crochet products that I've made available for you guys. Because I do understand and I noticed the clicks for me. DIY Creations was a click for me to like, she was one of them aha moments when she showed exactly where the stitch goes. Now you can look at her videos and see if that is that for you. I mean, I was wait, let me think. Yeah, I was making things before I saw her video. Before I saw her videos, I was crocheting. Yeah, I was. I was crocheting with the bulky yarns and the big hooks, the 8 hooks and the 9 hooks. And then when I saw her videos, I began approaching the worsted weight medium 4 yarn and the 6 hooks and the 6.5 hooks. Um, and then there's somebody that crocheted with the 5 hook. I think it's the primrose pattern. I think is made with that 5 hook. And I may be making some leg warmers with that pattern. But yeah, guys, share with me your origin crochet story. My origin crochet story seems like it's all over the place. I tell you, like, but I had fun with it. It was fun. It was cool. And then it's sometimes I'd be like, man, if I had a gone to such and such school, I would have been further along in my crochet blase blah 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 blah. I would have had more crochet experience in blue 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 blah blah blah, but it didn't happen that way. So uh you know, what's your crochet origin story? Like my crochet origin story is so I kind of want to say it's kind of sporadic, kind of sort of, not really, but it's just because when I first started, I didn't stay on it like I am on it now. Like I'm on it now. Like it's because yeah, I wasn't consistent with it when my crochet origin story started. And it actually started before I began so long ago. I would watch, and even to this day, I watch movies and shows and I admire the crochet and knitted pieces that are uh in the shows, in the TV shows and in the movies, that are on the couch or on the bed. There'll be a crochet uh blanket or pillow or sweater that somebody's wearing, and I just be like Google Gaga for it. I be like, I start celebrating y'all. I mean, and I would watch shows and just be like, ooh, like I want to make that. Like, I just be. That's just me. Let me know if y'all be like that too when you watch. And this before I even knew how to crochet. I was just I would just look at it in awe and admiration of the work, the handiwork. Like it's a um cat cat cast member. Like it's a cast member onto its own self. Like it's part of the show. It's a special guest feature to me when I see crochet and knitting work in a show or a movie. Uh, yeah. So the other, just I think just yesterday or the other day, I recognized a crochet blanket in a show, and um, I knew what the pattern was, y'all. What? I knew what the pattern was. I was like, that's a that's a what's it called? Cr- Cron, cor, chevron. That's a chevron pattern blanket right there. I was like, I'm so proud of myself. Like, I'm pointing out patterns. I forgot. Your girl good, okay? I can point I was looking at the color design of it, like a solid multicolor, then a solid multicolor. That was the pattern of the blanket. Yeah, but I've been on crochet neck. I've been on this neck since what was it? The year of um um, um 2017 maybe. 2015 I was loom knitting and learning how to knit with straight knitting needles. Um, and then before 2015 and loom knitting and learning how to knit with straight knitting needles, um, I was for the years prior to 2015, I was sporadically crocheting, like sporadically approaching crochet every now and again, uh, going down the crochet aisles, picking up like velvet, um, crochet yarn, and sporadically I would make a square. Um, always interested though. Always interested, even before then. But yeah, 2015 is loom knitting and straight needles. But yeah, before 2015, I would, I would, I had made one item with some bulky yarn, and I would, uh, yeah, that's what it looked like before 2015 with crocheting. And then uh 2017 is when I started crocheting with bulky yarn, and I would knit with worsted weight yarn. And let's see. Wait, what? Yeah. And then uh yeah. Um then later on I started crocheting with worsted weight yarn. And then from then to now, um I've continued crocheting with what a combination of bulky and worsted weight yarn. So some of my projects are worsted weight yarn, some of my projects are bulky. Knitting, I also knitted with bulky yarn. I've also loom knitted with bulky yarn. So I um knit and crochet with what I like to knit and crochet with. Um I got a bunch of 3-weight yarns, and with my 3-weight yarns, um I'm making a star, and now we're in present date. we're we were in present date now. With the 3-weight yarns making star sweaters. I'm on my second star sweater. Um with the 3-weight yarn. I may make another 3-weight yarn in with this. I may make another sweater in the 3-weight yarn because I do have another skein of it, and then my other skein is probably gonna be for a blanket, and then I'll be back to utilizing the 4-weight medium yarn. I actually got a star started with a medium 4-weight yarn. Um, and then the sweater I was talking about earlier, I think that yarn is considered a bulky. Um, so yeah, have fun. And everything that I have mentioned in this live stream, I have worked with. Um, as far as yarns go, I have worked with the loops and threads. Um, it's the loop yarn. I made a couple of I made a couple of scarves with that loop yarn. So have fun. If you know what you wanna make, cool. You can start there. You can start small and then work your way up to big. You can hop on big if you want. It doesn't matter. Just get at it, guys, and go for it. Um, I would like to make a couple of blankets, actually a few blankets. Um, a few big blankets. I hadn't made any big blankets yet. Um, I wouldn't mind making a few big blankets. I've made a few baby blankets, a few throw, well, not necessarily a few throw blankets, but yeah, I did mention what I already made. But yeah, I would like to make some big ones. Even knit some. I would like to knit a blanket maybe. Maybe loom knit, maybe a blanket. Definitely crochet. Uh, some blankets. With crocheting, and knitting, you can uh go at it in different ways. You can crochet squares and knit squares and make so many squares and then sew them together to make a blanket. That's what I actually started to do. And I was following a tutorial, uh, a knitting tutorial. I don't know exactly what happened with that, but I had approached it a few times, um, but I didn't finish that one. I have started on a kaleidoscope throw blanket that I would like to finish. I do. That's like my two things. I like kaleidoscopes, and I was like, oh, cool, a kaleidoscope blanket, and I love like combining things I like. I'm like, hey. With the kaleidoscope throw blanket, I gotta have several yarns out at a time though, because like each row is a different color. So I gotta make room to work on that. Uh, to work on that blanket. I gotta prepare. I gotta prepare for that blanket when I start working on that blanket again. Right now, the project I'm working on, it only calls for one skein. So, well, actually, two skeins. I'm on my second skein, but I ain't gotta have all the different colors sprawled out. Like I have to have all the different colors sprawled out for the kaleidoscope throw blanket. If you want to see what I'm talking about, you can look up the images in the shop. I did show the colors that I'm working with that kaleidoscope throw in the shop. In the shops, in the coffee shops. Plural. You can check that out at your leisure. Um, you actually can make items just using the chain stitch. um, the necklace that I don't, if you want to call it a necklace, the necklace that I'm wearing, the neck wear that I'm wearing in one of my profile pictures, it's made with chain stitches. It's crocheted. So you could take it as basic as just learning the chain stitch and making items from the chain stitch. Um, so you can make neck wear with the chain stitch. I made that utilizing the double stitch twins tutorial on how to make an African neck wear or African neck piece or something like that. I wouldn't mind making some more of those. I only made one so far, I think. I think I started making another one. I might have made another one. Another one was on my list to make. I don't know if I finished making it. I might have. I might have made two. I definitely made one. But yeah, I like their pattern. They got a few different patterns on how to make uh that neck wear. Um yeah, you can make cover-ups with the chain stitch, you can make neck wear with it, you can make bracelets with it, you can make skirts with it, like a cover type situation. DIY creation, she made a whole dress from top to bottom. Like she made a whole dress like from neck to ankles with the chain stitch, and that was on my list too. It was a little intimidating because I had seen it before I had learned how to crochet. Even though it was with the chain stitch, it seemed like a lot. Like I see how y'all can be saying how y'all don't have time, because sometimes when you look at something, it be like, "Ooh, that's a lot," but it really don't be. It really don't be. It really don't be. I mean, even if it is, you can still get it done. Even if it is, if that's what you want to do, you can get it done. I just ain't did it yet. I've done what I've done. I just ain't done that yet. But somebody else has. DOI Creation, she's done it. I think Double Stitch Twins has a dress like that. I don't know exactly, but they do have some patterns that I did put on my list as well. And I might make that dress. Like I said, like I look at it, but like DIY Creation, she got a granny square dress that I had put on my list. I just hadn't done it yet. You could look at something and be like, "Ooh, that's a lot." But if when you get up the nerve, it's really just about getting up the nerve to start what you want to create, and then moving towards it. Making those steps uh towards it. From point A to point V, or Z, I don't know, whatever. From point A to the finish line, there's steps in between. So, uh, uh, you can take those steps in between and congratulate yourself according to the steps you take in between time. In the meantime, you know, to the finish line. Hey! Is that a word of the day? Yes. Glow, right? Can I get a crochet? Okay, put some yarn balls in the chat for me. Um Pass the plate. Um you could donate at the coffee shops. This has been fun, guys. This has really been fun. I've had fun uh, teaching you all what I know, and I've had fun putting all this stuff together and sharing my uh, ambitions and origins, and yeah, it's been fun, guys. It's been fun. Join in on the fun, y'all. Join in on the fun. Join in on the fun, y'all. Join in on the fun. Yeah, one stitch at a time. One stitch at a time. I'm telling you. Uh, is that all? You guys can like, you guys can comment, share, subscribe, all those things that are made available. Hello, all in the chat. Thank you all for saying hi. Do thumbs up and subscribe if you hadn't already. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy all the things that are available to enjoy. Um, Live stream crochet alongs so that you can have a crochet companion are available on the channel. And I say crochet because I've been crocheting more. So, I mean, if you knitting, you can utilize these live streams as well. So you can have your knitting companion, weaving companion, punch needle companion, sewing, reading. If you want to get some reading done, if you can read while you listen to the live stream. If you want to study, somebody have said they was cleaning out their cabinets while they was listening to my live stream. So whatsoever you do, you got a friend in me. Down, down. So you know you can turn the live stream on and you know enjoy. Uh-oh, what did I do? Enjoy, right? Okay. I actually need my own crochet companionship uh to get these uh seams sewed so that I can move on to the next project. Lord have mercy. I was like, I wanted to start that next top already. Um so I got a couple of seams to finish on this star top, and then I'll start my next star top. I've already got like other star tops already finished. I just want to start on my other star top. I want to work with my apple green ombre yarn already. Um that's why I kind of wanted to hurt. I knew. See, I know me. I know me. You know me. Uh that's why I started the other stars. So I could already have them done or on the way. Like I already got them pre ready. Like I don't know what. I already got them started. So because the first few rows to me are the most complex. But and I still gotta start my other star top from the first row anyway. Like I did all that, but whatever. I didn't start it yet. And I gotta start at 0 rows and work it up. uh anyway, whatever. Whatever. Um and I do refer back to the patterns. I do refer back to the tutorials. It just make life easier. It makes life simpler, easier that way to refer back instead of trying to remember all the steps. um, how many stitches and all that. So yes, I will be referring back to the tutorial, the beautiful, beautiful tutorial. And starting back at 1. If ever I believe my work is done, then I start back at 1. So that's what we doing. And I only want you to know what you know, what it's all about. Yeah. What? Oh, okay, there it is. So what? You put the yarn hook through to you crochet. All right. So yeah, just put on some music, guys. If ever you need to, if you need a little bit of ambiance, set the ambiance. Okay, light your candles and set the mood. Like what's the name? Sebastian say set the mood and get you some ambience music playing while you crochet. That'll help me too. I'm in the ambience creating crochet level because if you need, silence to learn how to begin to crochet, go right ahead. But yeah, some of us set ambiance, so maybe you want to start that and try that as well too. Maybe that'll help you crochet. When you find time, if you don't have time, set the ambiance and schedule and all the things. Because a lot of us crocheters now be setting the ambiance. We be putting on music in the background. We be lighting candles and having essential oils burning. uh, uh, humidifiers and stuff and uh lighting and getting our tea and our drinks together, getting our mocha chocolate, yeah. We really be setting the mood. Like get your I really didn't touch on that till now, but that that could help you, relax and go at it, in a peaceful mindset way. If you just now learning to crochet, I didn't learn to crochet like that, but you can, I didn't learn with an ambiance with all this, but you can, and because I guess that's how it is, when the people learn ahead of you and then they teach you everything they know, then you got more to go by, and you got a clearer way. You ain't got to do the silent crochet like I did. I I learned how to crochet in the silence like it was crickets. It was like a golf course, shh, quiet on the set type situation when I was learning to crochet. But now you can put on music, you can put on rap music, you can put on Beethoven, whatever, and learn how to crochet. Cause that's kind of what I do now. Now that I know how to crochet, I put music on. We got the teas and the lattes. You got your cold drinks, you got your hot drinks. It's a smorgasbord. Uh, of the ways you can go at crocheting and crafting and setting the ambiance. That's a whole nother other that I just mentioned just now. Like what? Yes. And this I just learned that uh maybe last year or the year before. Yeah, probably the year before I was getting into like drinking like associating drinking teas and coffees um and candles, lighting candles while I was crocheting. I just got into that like 2 years ago. So yeah, it's a whole vibe, how you say. It's a whole vibe. Like you can vibe out, like and uh I actually had made some labels for some candles for crocheting, like um mm, three 3 years ago, 3 years, three 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know exactly, but I had made a whole shop of candles with crochet labels, and I made a whole storefront, a whole online shop where I was selling candles for crocheting. So yeah, it's a whole thing. Uh, Thank you so much for you all attention. Any questions? Well, I tell you, when looked at shows and saw people with knitted and crochet sweaters on, they actually mostly wore knitted sweaters in shows. Some some of them were crocheted. For the most part, it seemed like when I saw a crochet sweater, um, it seemed like it was freestyled. Um, I was like Jack when he went to kind of give a picture, just a little, kind of over exaggerating just a little bit, but how's did I say I meant did I say Zach? I meant Jack. I think I said Jack. How Jack was when he went to Christmas Town and he was like, "What's this? What's this? It's magic in the air." I was like that with crochet, like with knits. When I saw knits and crochet items on TV, I would look at it and be like, "How is how is this made?" I can see how it's made. A lot of times it looked like it would be knitted or freeform crochet. Because there's a couple of things as far as like freeform crochet. Like I couldn't figure out what the stitch was, and I asked a fellow crocheter that I felt knew more about crochet than I did, and they was like, "That's freeform. It's a whole thing." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I mean, I was kind of freeforming before I knew what freeforming was, but I was freeforming within the perimeter of the basic crochet. Like I learned the basic. I was in the parameter of basic crocheting, but I was freeforming within that. Like I didn't know though. I didn't know it was a whole thing. But yeah, I knew without knowing. I created it without knowing. Because I had that basic skill of the crochet from somebody who taught me. But yeah, my freeforming flute flag flew high, you know. Oh my goodness. So yeah, creating is very cool. Let me know how you are when you see knits and crochet work in wherever you see it at. I see it in movies and shows. It was one time I had seen something in the stores. Now a lot of people don't like stuff in the stores. Lord have mercy, Lord. Oh my God. They do not like seeing crochet and knit stuff. I don't know if it's knit stuff so much as crochet stuff because I ain't really heard nobody complain about a sweater from a store uh when it's knit. But Lord have mercy, don't let it be crochet. Don't let it be knit and crochet from no store, boy. They get hot. Um, but yeah, what's up with that? I mean, I know what's up with that. Don't come at me. I know what's up with that. I'm just saying, as far as knitting goes, don't and weaving, don't nobody get up in arms when they see a crochet knitting and weaving. And it's because with the weaving, I know now that I done said it out loud, Lord have mercy. With knitting and weaving, they can be done with machines. Crochet can only be done with hands. I don't know what I saw at the store, whether it was crochet or weaving or knitting. I just saw a beautiful sweater and it did not come home with me that day. It was beautiful at first sight, but it didn't come home with me, Lord. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to make a sweater. I'm gonna. I knew it wasn't gonna be that, but it was gonna get close. It wasn't gonna be that sweater because I see it and know the colors. The colors, it was like blue and pink and black. A lot of my favorite colors that were together in that garment. And I was like, I'm gonna make, if you can't come home with me, I'm gonna make my own. So yeah, I guess I'm on that mission to make my own. I guess that's what's happening. I don't know. We'll see. To be continued with that.